A strange thought has been following me lately, not about programming, not about university, not even about technology. It's this. How many people spend years preparing for something they never actually start? Think about it. A person wants to write, so they keep reading. Another wants to build a business, so they keep planning. Someone else wants to create content, so they keep waiting for the right moment, right skills, right equipment, the right level of confidence. And before they notice it, a year is gone. Then another. The goal is still there. The action isn't. I think I've been doing a version of that myself. Not because I was lazy, quite the opposite. Most of my time was spent learning, reading documentation, watching lectures, building projects, taking things apart just to understand how they work from the outside. It looked productive, in many ways it was. Still something felt incomplete. The knowledge kept growing, the conversation never started. For a long time, almost nobody saw the process, the experiments, the failed ideas, the questions that took days to answer. All of it stayed behind the screen, hidden, comfortable, safe. At first, that seemed normal. Then I started paying attention to the people I admired, researchers, engineers, founders, creators, different careers, similar pattern. Very few of them waited until they felt fully prepared. They start while things were messy, while gaps still existed, while uncertainty was a part of the equation. That realization bothered me more than I accepted. Because if I'm honest, I wasn't lacking information. I was avoiding visibility. There is a difference. One is a knowledge problem, the other is a courage problem. And that's where this story begins. Right now, I'm a computer engineering student. University ends for me in about a year. That sounds like the beginning of the story, it isn't. The real beginning happened much earlier. Ever since I was a kid, computers had a strange effect on me. Most people saw a device. I saw a mystery. How could a machine store ideas? Why did software behave the way it did? What happened after pressing a button? Questions like that stayed with me. They never really left. Around 3 years ago, that curiosity became more serious. I stopped chasing technologies one after another. Instead, I became interested in what was happening underneath them. The hidden layers became more interesting than the visible ones. A framework was no longer the destination, it was something to investigate. A database became more than a tool, it became a system worth understanding. The same thing happened with networks, operating systems, architecture, and everything connected to them. The deeper I went, the less interested I became in the collection knowledge. Understanding started to matter more. That's still the goal. Not knowing more names, not following more trends. Understanding. Real understanding. The kind that survives when technologies change. The kind that helps you think instead of memorize. That's the journey I'm on. And this channel is where I documented it. Not from the finish line, from the middle of the climb. Some weeks, I explain an idea that finally makes sense. Other weeks, I probably discover how little I know about the topic I thought I understood. Both outcomes are useful. Both belong here. Most of the subjects will revolve around backend engineering, databases, networking, system design, scalability, architecture, Python, and Django. The principle behind modern software systems. But the goal isn't to create another collection of tutorials. There are already enough tutorials on the internet. Why interest me in the depth? Why something exists? What problem it solves? Why one design choose beat another? Why systems fail and why they succeed? What separates a working solution from an elegant one? Those questions are far more interesting to me than memorizing syntax. There's another reason this channel exists, a more personal one. Everything I've mentioned so far happened inside a familiar environment, a familiar language, audience, a familiar word. This channel changed that. English isn't my first language, which means every upload forces me to improve in ways that have nothing to do with code. Clear thinking, communication, and confidence. The ability to express ideas beyond my local environment. Honestly, that's part of what makes this existing. Not because it'll be easy, because it won't. There will be awkward moments, sentences that don't sound right, concepts I struggle to explain, videos that could have been better. That's fine. I'd rather be visible and improving than invisible and waiting. So here's what this project really is: a computer engineering student, 1 year away from graduation, 3 years into deep obsession with understanding software, stepping outside a comfortable local space, learning, building, and thinking publicly. One video at a time, nobody knows where that leads. I certainly don't. A few years from now, I might watch this video and laugh, or maybe I'd be grateful I finally pressed a record. Either way, there was never going to be a perfect moment to begin. This one is good enough, and that's all a first step needs to be. Welcome to day one.